I'll do the record to. Okay. Okay. So I'll just go through this quickly again. So we are looking at the dashboard here of Athlone Club. And we see here it's distinguished. It's distinguished because it has met 6 goals. If it meets 7 goals, it'll become select distinguished. If it meets 9 goals, it becomes president distinguished. And there are different criteria towards this, right? So then we talked about the club alignment. So where we are based in Region 10, District 71, Division F, Area 9. The region is like a probably continent. Many countries in a particular continent. District would have few countries depending on what district it is, or one country if it is a big country. Division would have multiple areas within it, and area would have multiple clubs in it, right? So this is how the whole hierarchy is structured for Toastmasters International. So if we look at our membership, let's go from left to right, top to bottom, and try and understand the whole thing here. So we have gone through club alignment, membership. So here, if you look at this particular thing, this was a goal when we started. When we started in July of last year, that is July 2024, the goal for us was to get to 20 people minimum. And we are actually 26 people. So it shows a huge, it shows lots about Donal and the leadership team, the club leadership team that we have, that we were able to do such an amazing job here. Despite the attrition that happens, we are at 26. So that's quite amazing there. Or a net growth of 3 members. Yeah. So this happens when the club has less than 20 members. Say if club had 15 members, right? So then meeting 20 would be challenging for them. So in that case, if they go to 18, that's fine. They will get the distinguished status. So the membership aspect is a really important fundamental aspect on which the distinguished title is given. So if membership criteria is not met, even though we meet all the other criteria, we will not be distinguished. So having members is really important. And at the end of the day, all these parameters is helping the club to thrive. It is not just goals for the sake of having goals. It's actually ensuring that we have thriving members, new members coming in, and they learn and they grow in their personal growth and leadership development journey. So basically, yeah. So if you look at this here, the goals, right? So this is the goals that we met, and these are the qualifications to become distinguished, select distinguished, and president distinguished, right? So now we go into this different aspects. So there is an education aspect, there is a membership aspect, there is a training aspect, and then there is an administration aspect, right? So 4 main divisions we have in terms of the goals. So if you look at the education, it depends on what the members are achieving in their pathways journey. And it's really important to understand that people not only have to give their speeches, but they have to log into the Toastmasters International and actually submit their levels as well. They have to mark it as complete, because that is really important. That is what is reflected here in this dashboard. So if the members do a lot of speeches, but they don't do anything logging on to the toastmasters.org and those updates, if they don't do, then it will not get reflected here. So it's really important for us as club officers to help the members to get on to toastmasters.org and help them, encourage them to do those updates. So that's another thing as club officers that we can be aware of, in terms of what. So for example, if you look at ours, level 1, our goal was 4 people should achieve this. If we want to get a tick mark here would mean that we will meet the goals here, right? So here, if 1 more person gets a level 1, then we get a tick here and we will actually become select distinguished, right? So it's kind of interesting how the whole thing links back. People are doing speeches, people are progressing, and when they progress, the club also progresses subsequently. So that's a very interesting system that Toastmasters International has here. So similarly here, level 2, if 1 more person had got level 2, we would have got 1 more tick here, and we would have gone to 8 goals met, right? So that is how it works. more two levels. So if two more people get this, we get a tick again here, and we go to 9 goals. So that's how it works out, right? So you get the gist here, right? So people achieving their levels, and then when the people achieve the level, the club gets the tick mark here, and then our goals are met here. So if you look at our current situation, so we have 2 people who did level 3, and because we have met that goal, we got a tick here. Similarly, level 4. And if we get 1 more level here, we get a tick mark here again as well. So that's the education. Then membership, basically, this is interesting here. Look at this. This is quite amazing. So we actually got 18 new members. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to repeat this. I think Donal will need to give us some tips on how we can do this, in the coming year, because it's quite amazing. 18 members is really amazing. I've been in Toastmasters for long, but I've never seen this, this kind of growth. So it's kind of amazing, and we'll need to understand what we did last year that we can continue. I think that's really important, because that's just so here. Basically, the goal here is 4-4, and we have got 4 and 14. So you're way above. So that's why there are these 2 ticks. Then this training is really important, and this is as club officers, what happens is the district conducts training. So district means area onwards is district, right? It's all so area, division, and district are all part of the district team. So there is an area director, there's a division director, and then there is a district director. So they are all part of this team, and they are trying to help us, all the clubs, to attain their goals. So that is how it is structured, right? So here, the district generally conducts these trainings between June, July, and August. So it's important that at least 4 officers attend this training for us to get a tick mark here. So, and there are a lot of these trainings that happen between June and August. Many trainings will happen, and there are online. They are mainly online as well. So we just need to find 3 hours. I think generally it's 3 hours. So we'll need to find 3 hours to allocate. And it's a good networking session as well. We get to learn a lot of things from different other club officers across the different district. Sometimes you can join some other districts training as well, and then just inform the area director that we have done that. So there's a huge, so that's an important part here. So there are 2 club officer trainings that happen. One is between June to August, and another between November to February. So we need at least 4 officers attending this. It's really important to get that tick mark. But again, it's not a tick mark exercise. Tick mark is just something that is helping people to understand that the club is thriving. But at the end of the day, the real important thing here is that, we all are learning together. I think that's the most important thing here, rather than the tick mark. Tick mark is just a byproduct of, we having a good time and we learning together. But it's important for us as club officers to be aware that these tick marks exist, and aim towards it. I think that's the important thing here. So this is the training. And then the administration is basically this membership renewal dues on time. So basically what happens is Toastmasters has got this October to March and April to September. They have this 2 terms, 6 months terms, where they want us to ensure that at least 8 members register again. So basically minimum 8 members. So for example, when we start back again in September, like we generally take July, August off in Athlone Toastmasters because generally people are on holidays during that time. So when we start back in September, we will need to take an account of our membership base, like how many people are there currently, how many are interested to renew. Some people might have paid for 6 months extra. So we'll need to understand how many have paid. So we'll need to log in to the club leadership in Toastmasters, and we can get that report. So I can just show you quickly as well that thing, just so that we are aware of how that happens. So and all the club officers will have access to this. I'll just show you. So we log in, and then we go to our club leaders there's a leadership thing there, so we can get the membership report from there. So that will actually give the list of who has renewed and who needs to renew. So there is a Club Central here. Club Central access, everyone will get. All the club officers get access to Club Central. So from July onwards, all the new club officers will have access to this. So when you log in, you will actually see this. So I have this one as well. This is a club that I had formed during the pandemic, actually, an online club. So Athlone Club, if you're members of multiple club, you actually get that there as well. So here you go to the membership management, right? The first one here. And this actually gives a list of members. And there is a handy thing here, export Excel CSV. That's a very handy thing. So if you do this, it actually creates an Excel report of the whole thing. And then you can get an easy view of how the thing is, in terms of. So maybe I might just open. No, it's okay. We can just have a look here. It gives a very nice view, in terms of. So here, so that's what we'll need to do. We'll need to understand our membership base, who has, because this is going to end in September. So when we start in September, as a club officer team, our main focus should be to try and understand, who are interested to continue with us, and who are not, and that will give a good view. And then, like for example, if you look at here, this person has paid until March 31st. So he's actually paid for the next 6 months as well. So we might have some of those cases as well. Yeah. Right. So that is how the membership renewals on time. So basically what this means is by end of September, we should have at least 8 people renewing, so that when October starts, there is at least 8 membership base of 8 people. If that happens, then we get a 1 here. And then the next round is from April to September. So again, the same thing. If we have minimum 8 members in the April to September, we get 1 more here and 2. So because we did that, there's a tick, and also the club officer list on time. This is the last one. So this is basically, we did the election, right? After we do the election, we need to submit the list, club officer list, to Toastmasters International. So I've done that. I've submitted that list now. So we will have this 1 here. So this is the overall kind of goals that we are working towards as the club officer team. Any questions in terms of until now? Yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about us renewing for 12 months going forward, like yearly. So will we get the 2 automatically then if people do that for the 12 months instead of a 6-month renewal?
So 12 months at the moment, Toastmasters International has a way of doing renewal for the next 6 months. They have that option actually. So you do for first 6 months, and then you actually can do for the next 6 months as well. So people can do it online because we have a self-pay option enabled. So people can do that. Or we take if people are not able to do it themselves, we take the money and then we do it on their behalf. So that is how it works out. But it depends on members, how they want to do it. Or if as a club officer team, we want to decide that we want to take the whole year at once, that's an option. But then it depends, like Toastmasters International recommends every 6 months kind of thing. So it's up to us to decide what we want to do, really. Yeah. You're going to say something, is it, Tono?
No, sorry.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I would say no. It's all good.
Okay. Yeah. So that is how it is, Louis. It's clear. Yeah. Is it? So basically, Toastmasters International has recommendation of 6+6, and they actually have an option to do a next 6 months as well online, and we as club can do as well. That take 12 months at a time. It simplifies the whole thing. We don't need to worry about the next 6 months.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd seen something recently that they were actually encouraging for to do yearly instead of 6 monthly. I think
we should give that option, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, Louise, Louise is correct. So I have been in touch with Toastmasters International about that. So traditionally, when you joined a club, you joined in September and you went to next September, you pay for 12 months. Then self-pay came on, and then people did self-pay to pay for 6 months and 6 months, but they also had the option for 12 months. However, clubs don't have the option of turning off turning off the option of 6 months and leaving it for 12 months, which means you have to remind people twice a year to renew. So the issue I had with Toastmasters International is that you're looking for membership payments in August and September, then you're starting again in February and March and March. And there's 4 months taken up of a 10-month period talking about membership payments. And I wanted to reduce that down to just 2 months in the period September, October, and have it over and done with at club level. But with the self-pay option, because people renew twice, you have to do it twice and you use it 4 months. So I was asking them to give the president or the committee or the vice president of education the choice of turning off 6 months and leaving it 12 months and going back to where it was before they brought in the online self-payments. And that's what's going on. But they have said they've taken on board and they have sent it up to their design team and they have listened to the issue. So we'll see what happens to that front. Because if we look at it this year, we have 26 members at the moment. We had 30. We lost at the March turnover. We lost 4 people. So that was Sharon and Henry because of bereavement. Martina, she's doing a course on a Tuesday, and then the other lad was Kieran Lennon because of a baby being born in January. All right. But if it was 12 months, they stayed on till September, and then when you contact them again, they're in the club in September, they're paid up till October, and they're part of it. And it's easier for them to restart rather than doing that reconnecting and rebuilding again. And that's the difficulty. So as far as I can gather, Louise, as your VPM going next year, Sharon is coming back, Henry's 50-50, John Brody wants to join, and then Edward, the Ulster or the Bank of Ireland president, he wants to join, and that'll be in September. There's 2 other people too that I can't think of their names now. They're coming 3 or 4 times and they're in line. So in around September, you need to contact them to come to a meeting to remind them after we take the break and contact them personally, and then they will come back into the meeting. There's a few other people that are on the edge at the moment too, that their attendance fluctuates a bit. So from your perspective, you'll be looking at attendance a lot next year. Who's attending, who's not attending. All right, Louise, I hope that helps.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's good, Donald. And if you look at the screen here, I was just doing this while Donald was talking. So Toastmasters International has got this option now. This is a self-pay option, and you can actually do 2 periods here. So I think what we should do is we should encourage our members, like if they can, try and do the 2 periods. That would mean that it's for 1 year. 1 period is for 6 months here, right? So we can encourage them when we start back in September, to if you would like, try and go for the 2 periods, 1 year. And if you're not doing it online, if you want us to do, try look for 1 year if you can. If not, 6 months is fine. But we are not forcing anyone to go for a year at once. But if they can, it'll help because we don't need to again, after 6 months go for the whole basic things again. The 8, this is where we were here, right? We were trying to understand this one. Where is this one? Club status. So that's what membership renewal dues on time is. At least 8 members need to be there by September, and then by March, again 8 members should be there. That is membership renewals on time. Okay, so I think we have discussed this in good detail, and hopefully we are clear, in terms of our goals. So the next thing that I was thinking of was in terms of going through this club leadership handbook. I've sent the link there. So, there are different, like we have all these roles, and each roles have their own responsibilities, right? So I thought we can have a very quick high-level understanding of what each role involves in, right? And then we can go through in detail about just read through at least your part, try and understand how you can understand this. Okay, that's fine, Ruth. Thanks for letting us know. So basically here, for example, if you look at Vice President membership responsibility, so the main effort here is to continually increase membership, right? Promote the goal of gaining. This is what they are suggesting, right? One new member per month. And if club has fewer than 20 members, promote the goals as outlined in the distinguished club program. And if we look at the, so the distinguished club program will open up here. So they basically, there are different membership programs as well. Here, for example, there is Medley Award, Talk Up Toastmasters, Beat the Clock. So these are all the membership programs that exists, and that Toastmasters International encourages clubs to do. For example, this is, so look here, right? So there is a Smedley Award. It's all, at the end of the day, what all these things is doing is focusing us to try and work on membership building. That's what it is doing at the end of the day. So for example, they have the Smedley Award program running between beginning of August and end of September. And then there's Talk Up Toastmasters between beginning of February, end of March, and then Beat the Clock between beginning of May and end of June. So basically making us beyond the, always trying to work towards getting members. I think that's the goal of these programs here. So I encourage club members to gain recognition, sponsor award, all these things. Other things, as is guest pack. I think we have some. There was this flyers and all that was given as well. I think we have some of them there. I think Derek had provided some things as well. So
yes, we had a guest pack for everyone that came in.
Yeah,
so everyone that comes to meet firstly gets an agenda. Anyone new then gets an application form if they requested. Thirdly, they get details on pathways. They also get details of the first 6 speeches on pathways. They also get an example of the first speech, the icebreaker, and what they have to do.
Okay,
all right.
yeah.
And then they also get maybe an example of a table topic. We did that for a while. So there is a whole pack there given to them electronically, and I'll share that with the VPM, which is Louise. And
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, and I think it looks like there is this is another important nice thing about Toastmasters International, that they provide a lot of resources, in terms of to help us do our job to the best ability. So I think that's really good as well. There are a lot of these resources that are already there here. But this is directly going to the So for example, there is here, just a very high level. This is a high level kind of detail there in terms of what the guest, if they have some questions, they can go to this particular digital guest packet. So so basically, if we look at VP membership, then the main thing is working with the members, ensuring that members are happy, ensuring that new members can join easily if they wish to join. That is all the main responsibility of VP membership, and then process membership applications. So they will fill in the membership form, and then we log into the Club Central here, the one that I showed. Sorry, just a moment. Yeah, so we had, where was that? I had it open here. Yeah, this one. So basically, if I go to my home here, that's the most important thing that we can try and understand. This Club Central is our go-to place as club officers, and we have a lot of different things that we can do from here. And membership management comes in first here. So membership, new members can be submitted through this. Once they fill in the membership form, we can add a member here, right? And then when we do an add member, I don't know why this is not working. I'm clicking this. Okay, it's slow. It's doing something, I think. So basically, when you there it comes. It's taking time. So yeah, this is another thing. If someone is rejoining us, they were already a member of Toastmasters, and they are rejoining us, they are reinstated member. Or if someone is a member of another club and they are becoming a member of a new club, they're dual member. So when they're dual or reinstated member, if you just give their surname and the member ID or email, we can add them to our club as a member of our club. So that is, or if they're totally new to Toastmasters, then we go to this and then we have to fill in their details here.
Probably a silly question. If they're paid up member in another club and they're joining our club, it's a full price again for our club, is it? Or is there a discount for being in more than one club, or what way does that work?
No.
Okay.
So it's basically, of course, some clubs might have different ways of taking in fees and all, but generally it is the same fees. Even
Okay.
if some people, join 5 and 5+ clubs, but then they would be paying the same fees to Toastmasters International. So yeah, it does not matter how many clubs. The fees are the same. Yeah. So this is what the VP membership, the other important thing, when you get the membership form, you go into the Club Central and then you fill in this, and then when you submit this, then probably you can pay for them as well. If they are not, if they cannot pay themselves, we pay for them. So that's another thing there. Yeah. So these are the main kind of, and then there is here, what is the different things before the club meetings upon arrival. This is greet the guests, provide them guest packs, answer any questions they have. After the meeting, answer the questions, invite to join the club or at another meeting, help guests who do wish to join to complete the membership application. So it's all basic things, So basically, VP membership is working with existing members to ensure that they are happy. And, sometimes what would happen is the members might not come for some reason. And if the pattern is repeating, then VP membership should note that this pattern is repeating and try and contact those members and try and understand what's going on, can we help in some way in terms of, of course, sometimes things are, a lot of things are going, Toastmasters is not the first thing that people do, right? So there are so many things going on in life, but the VP membership is working with the members and trying to understand, whether they are able to come regularly, and if they're not able to come regularly, is there something that we can do to make them happy and come to the club meetings? So that's the main goal of VP membership there, to ensure that existing members are happy and try and, increase the new members coming in, the guests coming in and joining us. That is VP membership. Then public relations is publicize the club. So that's John. So you're kind of helping us with that, isn't it? This year. So in terms of VP, so public relation, in terms of ensuring that our meetings are all advertised, and we follow. Generally, there is a specific, font and colors and all that Toastmasters follows. So it'll be good. I can send you the links as well, John. There is a guy who actually does a very nice YouTube video in terms of Canva, using Canva to design posters and using all those proper formatting and all. Because if that is done, it is we are doing the brand. We are using the brand of Toastmasters, and that creates a good impression. You're going to say something, John? Is that?
Oh no, I was going to say thanks for the link.
Yeah, I'll send in. So there's a YouTube video as well. There's a guy who does quite a lot of YouTube videos in terms of tech for Toastmasters. That's what it's called.
So, Mesh, can you share that with everyone?
Yeah. I'll share with you as well. Yeah, I'll share with everyone. Yeah.
So I'll just add a few points there, folks, just so you're aware that we came second in a recent publicity contest in District 71 for our publicity last year. So it is, what we're doing is quite good. And
absolutely.
We also have on Canva, we have a brand pack. So when you make a poster, you just hit the button brand it, and it'll brand it all for you. Most of our content is AI generated. All right. So we use input in AI, create this for us, and then it creates it for us, and then we brand it and post it. After that, then we use DeepSeek to do the narrative, and then that puts it on things. So it's virtually it's 5 to 10 minutes less than that to do a poster, and it's all AI generated. The one thing that's not AI generated is the minutes. So the two key outputs that we have to do is firstly announce the meeting is happening in 2 weeks' time, and we put up an event. We use Facebook for an organizer for an event, and the second thing then is the minutes, publish the minutes, and those two things are the most viewed things that we have. So the club event happening 2 weeks in advance, and the minutes published a week afterwards on a Tuesday or a Wednesday to let people know we had a meeting and that we're live. Lots of people read them. People join read them, then they find out a bit about us, and it's very important. The positivity and then makes people interested in Toastmasters. So that's just the two things are the key things. Everything after that then is luxury, fancy stuff. If you enjoy working it with AI, go ahead with it. So that's my input there. So much back to you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Donald. Thank you. Yeah, so important thing here is that we put in the details of our club meetings, and if we get the theme, we put something around the theme, and I think we should. I'm just thinking, just now thoughts are coming. Like we could actually take some pictures of the people who are attending the meeting, and that might actually create a good
So on that's fine. The thing about putting pictures up of people, you have to get their consent to do it. So you have to contact them in advance.
We can. So what we can do is, we can, when we are taking the picture for social media, we ask the people, are you happy that this will go on social media? And if people are not happy, they won't be there in the picture, so that's fine. I think that's a basic thing that we should be aware of, I think, in terms of all these things that goes on social media. Yeah.
Could we ask when people are signing in? Because then you can take candid shots, and I know from other experiences, pictures of people enjoying themselves in the moment people look them a lot more than people standing in a row, and then that way you don't have to interrupt it to ask people.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. Yeah. I think that'll make it more interesting as well, as you say. Yeah, if those candid kind of pictures come in, rather than just picture for the sake of picture. Yeah, you're right.
So that's Ruth, isn't it? That's that. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ruth, I don't have a picture of you. If you have a picture of yourself, would you mind sending it on to me? That you'd be okay for me to put up on our social media streams.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much. Yeah, sorry about that so much. It's just important to have. I have everybody else on the next committee. I don't have Ruth there. That's the only person I don't have. Thank you.
Thanks, Donald. So basically public relations, as it says, it's basically putting out publicity for the club as much as possible in different social media, and it gives about all the social media here, right? So many of them now. Can't keep up with them, I would say. The number of social media tools that are available nowadays, quite amazing. And then it talks about the brand, using the brand and all, which is good, I think, to try and do that. And then there is a brand manual here, which actually talks a lot about what are the different fonts and everything that is used. So that is the responsibility before the club, the club theme and meeting for the current week, promotional materials, marketing. During the club meetings, promotional materials are available. Result of public relations, bringing to newspaper clippings, printouts, social media posts to share with the club. Okay, that's an interesting thing here. Announce the commencement of public relations campaign. So if there is any campaign, and if members want to participate in the public relations campaign, like, for example, there was something that district had initiated. They were talking about my why, why did I join Toastmasters? Just a small clip, say 1 minute clip. People saying, why did I join Athlone Toastmasters, for example? So this could be something that, VP PR can take a leadership on and try and ask people to give their clip, a 30-second or 1 minute clip. And whoever does that, we share it in social media, and then it'll encourage others who look at it and they will relate to it, and then they might come as a guest, and they'll become a new member. So it's really interesting how the whole thing works, right? All the club officer roles. So VP PR is doing the publicity. Because of publicity, the guests will come in. When the guests come in, VP membership is working with the guests and making them feel comfortable. And then if they are comfortable, hopefully they'll join the club. And then the VP membership continues to discuss with the existing club members to ensure that they are happy with what is going on in the club. So there's so much overlap between VP PR and VP membership there, And then VP education is again, we don't have VP education today, but then ensuring that everyone does their speeches, does their roles, they're getting value out of being in Toastmasters, and that's really important. So VP education needs to ensure that, and then the mentorship and things like that. So yeah, Monica said she was not able to attend, but I'm kind of working with her as well to trying to. So this is another thing, people can transfer their roles as well. Whoever is doing this year can transfer it. But then I think this year we had huge challenges, and I really appreciate Donald. It's quite amazing work that he has done, despite not many members not being able to, the club officers not being able to do their roles. Like Donald was just doing everyone's role, which is not advisable, I think, because at the end of the day, everyone, when they put in their effort, they learn as well, right? So it's like this is the whole thing about Toastmasters International. It's how much you put in, that much you learn. Like if you don't put in anything, we're not going to learn anything really. But then I think situation was such that I think members had their own challenges in terms of club officers this year. But hopefully, everyone will be able to do their best, I think, in their role. So that's why we're trying to do this. Yeah.
I'll just explain a bit there why, Smash, if you don't mind.
No worries. Yeah.
So we had 7 to start. We didn't actually have 7 starting off. We only had 6. And also on top of that, then the Sergeant at Arms, who was Francis Keenan, he resigned in the first week of July and said he wasn't going to take up the role. So we're already down 2. Then Joseph was coming back to Toastmasters, and he said he'd do VFPM. Unfortunately, he didn't have time to do it in the end. But in terms of optics, I needed to have 7 for graphics and for promotion material. So it was essential that all that, in terms of everything we put out there to the public, the optics showed that we had 7 members on the committee and 7 people functioning very well. And that was key for me. And then everyone was doing their role. So in terms of our area director, and both his reports, he praised all the officers for doing all their roles. So in terms of optics, we really pushed it out there that this was one of the high performing committees that was there, and one of the high performing clubs. That was key there, Sumesh.
Absolutely,
That's what we're done. And if anyone wants any advice in any of the roles, I've done them all before in different clubs too, so I can help out in any of them. So just so you know.
Thanks, Donald. Thank you.
All right, Sumesh.
Yeah, it's amazing amount of effort you have put into it. So congratulations. It's just huge.
Full effort.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is teamwork, right? And if one person is doing so much of thing, then it becomes quite challenging, I would say. It was quite amazing, how you have managed to bring success to the club despite all those challenges. Just no other words to say except congratulations. It's quite amazing that way. And then so club secretary then maintains club records, manages club files, handles club correspondence, takes minutes at each club and club executive committee meeting. So this is basically our club executive committee meeting, right? So basically that's another thing as well. So we should probably try and understand how many times we have to meet, as a club. We should try and make a kind of a frequency there and regularity. I think that will help, I would say. Say, for example, what do the people here think? And I don't want this to be too much time consuming or things like that. So if you have any suggestions, like once a month, half an hour, would that be fine? Is it?
Yeah, I don't think we'd need any more than that. I'd say maybe if it's a situation, if there was trouble within the month, or if there were challenges within the month or something within that month, then we could up it, say, the next month. But I think as a standard, half an hour is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Good, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Hemant. Thanks for joining.
There's Nai. Hi, Nai.
No.
How are you, Nai? So
I agree too. Sorry, I realized I was on mute, so it took me some time. Hi everyone. Sorry, I do agree. I think yeah, once a month. But I also like the idea that I can each of us can feel liaison with Donald because he's played all these roles and he had the actual experience, which is really nice because I think I was like sometimes you can do it, yes, but there's just that maybe a bit of panic because it's new and you don't want to let the club down or anything like that, and you want to do things right. So it's nice to know that we can talk to various individuals in the group that have had that role before.
absolutely, yeah. And one of the things here is we are kind of working as a team here, right? So if people have any questions, anyone else has any opinion, it's really important to give your opinion. Feel free to do that. I think that's really important as well, because we all would have our own unique perspectives, and that adds to the whole, how we work as a team. I think it's really important that we all give our opinions and work together, help each other, I think.
Smash, I just add something there.
Yeah.
If you take the role and you read the material around it and you embrace it, you will learn loads.
Absolutely.
And what you're learning is transferable to everything in the workplace. So
Yes.
I know I led your club for this year, but I also lead at work. I'm a head of unit. All right. But I didn't get that far till I learned the Toastmaster skills. And all these skills that you apply, leading, coaching, supporting, developing, motivating, everything that has happened, even the publicity side, encourage people in, being persuasive and everything, and using the right tone and the right general objective at the right moment comes from learning these roles and applying them. And that's every one of them. So even the secretary role, for example, I don't need to take any minutes at the meeting. I can walk away and write the minutes off the top of my head afterwards. But I didn't start like that, if you know what I mean. You learn all that by doing the rules. And that's why it's so important to embrace it, read it, apply it, and see how you get on. And then when you need help, I'm an advisor and Samesh has experience. Okay, back to you, Samesh.
Yeah, thanks, Donald. Thank you. Yeah, so if we go back to the secretary here, so the important thing is taking the minutes, the club executive meeting and the club meeting, and it can be short synopsis. It doesn't need to be. You don't need to spend too much of time. Just the main points would be enough. And here they actually give the details as well. What again? All this is a guideline here. We can take whatever we want, and we can leave things if we don't want to do some of the things here. Maintaining files, and then all these materials, in terms of.
It's just sorry to interrupt, Smash, but
Yeah. Sorry, you went on mute.
Sorry. Is there a cloud login thing where I?
Sorry, it's going on mute again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Basically,
No,
is there paper or is there digital, like with previous records that I need access to, or how is that run in Athlone?
Yeah, I don't think we have something like that actually. Ideally, we should have had it, but I don't think so. So maybe if you'd like, maybe create a Google Drive or something, that would be really good.
Yeah, they're very handy.
And sorry, yeah, exactly.
Samesh, may I add something here?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
We did a summary note for certain positions, and one of them was the secretary. John did them up, those notes. So after this meeting today or tomorrow, we'll share them with everyone here again, so everyone will see what people did last year and their roles more clearly. Remember, we all did notes on our what we were actually doing during the year. Yeah, and
no, that's a good idea. Yeah.
And John has done his stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have to be done. For the secretary, is just basically the minutes of the meeting. And to do that, you take the agenda and you take the headings of the agenda and the speakers and one sentence on each person and positive spin on it and then publish that. I will give you examples anyway about around the country what they're doing too. I'm going to do that. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Donald. Yeah. So basically, just a very high level is fine. I think don't think that it is too time consuming. Just short and to the point is fine, because generally nowadays people don't have attention span as well. If you have a very long thing, people might not read it at all. So short is good actually in that sense. Okay, then another interesting thing here is the club secretary can support VP as base camp manager as well. And that is interesting here. So basically what base camp manager is that the VP education and president have this thing that they can approve the members' level completions. So whenever a member completes a particular level in pathways, they have to do a submit that I have completed, mark complete. There is an option that they do. When they do that, the notification goes to the base camp manager, who is the vice president education, or the president or the secretary also. So secretary can also help in terms of approving the membership level progress in pathways. So that's an important point here as well. So here it says the club president, vice president education, and club secretary are the only officers who have access to base camp manager page. Clubs must ensure that at least one of these officers is able to complete the base camp manager tasks. And a major one is approving the levels of the members. Whenever they complete the levels, it has to be approved through the base camp manager role. And base camp manager role is, if I go back to the club status, which one was that? It's this one, is it? Yeah, this one, home. So basically here, if I go here, there is a base camp, go to base camp. This is the first one that we get. So when we go to base camp, there is a base camp manager option as well available. So this base camp is the way through which the pathways progress is done in the system. Right. So here is a base camp, and then here is a base camp manager. Right. So if you go to the base camp manager here, you get the approvals here. So basically, it's only the president, vice president education, and secretary. They would be able to do this role. All right. And basically, so all these are approved here. This is coming in for my other club as well here. There are a lot of other club things here there. Okay. So that is, so that is the base camp manager role as well for the secretary. Then, okay, before the club, post the minutes of the previous meeting, prepare for the club president, list of actions. So this is the thing that take attendance of all members and guests in attendance. So that is when upon arrival and during the club, read the minutes of the previous meeting, note any amendments, record the minutes of the current meeting. So that is the secretary role. Right. So, and then they have all this interesting thing as well, common scenarios club secretaries face. So it's a good document, actually, very comprehensive document in that sense. And so please have a look at this. Then club treasurer. Yeah, the major one is prepare and oversee the club budget, create the budget at the beginning. Yeah, here, we are, again, all these things is something that that we can do or we can choose not to do as well. But the important thing here is for club treasurer to get in all the dues of the members, the membership dues and the dues for the room hire that the members pay, and then pay back for the room hire and all to whoever we are renting it from. And then reconcile deposits, expenditure, cash on hand each month, kind of thing. So this is club collect membership dues, as I mentioned here. So this is September to March, October to April, what we discussed.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question here, please?
Please go ahead. Yeah.
So I just have a initially it's okay. You say that you must have a Revolut to kind of do this, and this is my personal Revolut. Is it not possible to have a club Revolut so then it separates personal expenses or income from the club? Because I use my Revolut a lot for like maybe even paying bills and stuff. So I do get a certain amount of money on my Revolut, and I'm just thinking, that would be very stressful for me to try to separate my own expenses from the club. And if the club has a bank account, they should be able to get a Revolut, no?
Yeah, the thing about Revolut is it is if you have, you said you have the Revolut account, right? So when you do a
Yeah.
Revolut account, it's based on a person, right? You have to submit your passport details, your photo, and you have to verify yourself. So
Yes.
I'm not really sure how the business related Revolut account can be created.
Work.
Maybe if you can, we all can check, maybe each of us, if there is an option, to create a business Revolut account, then maybe that might be an option. But at the moment, I do not know actually how that is done, because my understanding is that Revolut is based on person themselves, personal accounts at the moment anyway.
Yeah,
We have an
and it's a
AIB.
new law.
Yeah, we have an
Yeah,
AIB account as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no, we have an account as a club. We
Oh,
have an
okay.
AIB account. Yeah.
Or
But,
Okay.
but it's simpler to do it through Revolut, so that's why we were trying to go for that.
For
Yeah.
the Revolut though as well, something that might help now is you can do pockets. So you'll have a detailed transaction of who's paying what into you, and then just automatically transfer that into a pocket. Say call a pocket Toastmasters, and then you've got a record of who's paid, and then it's not
Yeah.
actually in your it's not in your day-to-day funds in there. It's put away into a pocket, and then say once a fortnight or once whatever way you transfer across into the bank account, you can go directly from the pocket into your main account and into the AIB account or whatever. But you can separate it out into a pocket.
That's a great
So
idea.
in the recent years, that's very good, Louise. But in the recent years, like you'll have to connect your Revolut to your bank account. So then, when it comes to auditing or tax at the end of the year, it includes that or it doesn't include that, because that's when money coming in.
Yeah, it'd include, you'd have to do a statement from your Revolut and it showed that, but you'd have details, you'd have, say, receipts of money that are coming in and money that's going back out to the Revolut account to Toastmasters or to the AIB account for Toastmasters. So they'd all reconcile, because it's not, it shows money coming in and that same amount is going out, that they're not yours.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you for clarifying that.
No worries.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Louis. Yeah, that's a great one. And this is what I was kind of talking about, just before, like we all can help each other, even though we are not doing that role. So this is a great example now we have directly there, because then we have got our own competencies and a lot of unique knowledge that we have, which we can share with others. I think that's really good learning there as well. So thanks for that, Louis. Much appreciated. So basically we went for Revolut because it's a little bit simpler for people to do rather than the bank transfer and things like that. But these are the challenges I think at the moment, really, that we cannot, I don't know about any way where we can have there might be something which I don't know actually, like in terms of having a Athlone Toastmasters Revolut account, for example. I don't know whether it's possible.
I think sorry.
Continue.
Okay, I think the only way of doing that would actually be to have, say, a phone and an account set up on that phone.
Oh, okay.
And the phone is actually like a group phone or something like that. But then is that something that we want to do as well? So
there are business Revolut you can not GPS number, but the issue is the cost of it. It would be like a tenner a month or more, which when you're paying for another bank account, and then there'd be other fees on top of that, it mightn't be very viable for the club with the small income that it makes.
True. Okay. So there is a business, but there is a lot of fees that they have. And it's the same challenge that we had with AIB as well when we were trying to go for the online account setup. But I think maybe we should try and do the online, because it probably will help, I think, in terms of, I don't know, can discuss that. We'll need to understand what the fees are. Donal, we were involved, right, in terms of working with AIB.
Yeah, the fees are €60 a month, a quarter, sorry. So that's $240 a year. So in terms of that then, because we're in a room where we are now, it possibly could be viable if we had figures. So we'd have to work out what the break-even point would be for membership at a meeting over the course of a year. That's the thing. If we're charging a tenner a meeting, would it be no problem? I know that for certain. It'd be grand. So, but it's 60 a quarter, right? So that's it's a quarter, 3 months or 4 months. It's 3 months, isn't it?
3 months, yeah.
3 months, so that's €20 a month. Yeah, I think you could cover it. I think you could cover it now where we are.
Mm.
And it would be viable then to talk to Bank of Ireland again and use their bank account to put it on the system and go with that. Also make it easier to get people in the role, and all the money would be going into our bank account, or sorry, into Athlone Toastmasters bank account.
Yeah, it's a AIB, I think, Donald.
AIB,
bank.
AIB, yeah, €20 a month, something like that.
Yeah,
So it's probably viable now if you want to give it a go.
Revolut has a bank account, like Revolut, because one of the guys that I work with, he gets his salary paid into Revolut, and there's no fees for that.
Are you saying a business account for Revolut, is it?
Yes, but the problem with that, we're a charity, and they won't open an account up for business. We're not personal account, and we're not a business account. We're a charity, and they won't open up a charity account for Revolut.
Okay.
If you go to the UK, they actually have a bank that does charity only, and if we had that in Ireland, it'd be perfect. Bank of Ireland doesn't really do charity anymore. AIB doesn't. Ulster Bank is gone. Permanent TSB doesn't. I could go on. We went through them all at the time, and it was very messy. I can find the detail and share it with you again. But the reality is now, Samesh, it's probably viable to pay the quarterly fee, and then that would help out because you just put the money into account and pull in yourself. You could see the bank balance, and I can see it obviously because I was signature on the account, and that would be it.
Yeah, something like that we might need to check on, I would say.
Yeah.
Along with probably Revolut as well, if, as Louise, you suggested about the pockets and things like that, that'll help to manage it, I would say. And maybe now you can ask people to tag Athlone Toastmasters when they send in the money, like ATM, for example. Just when you're sending, please put an ATM there so that you know that it's Athlone Toastmasters kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what Louis said really was very useful, and I think that might be a really good option, because if I can regroup and then give it a label, as long as there is evidence of an incoming and outgoing to the Toastmaster, then it shouldn't be a problem for me.
Yes,
as well.
Absolutely.
So that's grand. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no, just to add that everybody is paying. Okay, everybody pays after everyone that's coming online is paying, and people coming into the room are paying now. We had some difficulties in the beginning, at the start of the year, 1 or 2 people, but they were paying late, but we got after them, and then that culture changed, and they're paying on time now. So it's quite good shape at the moment. September is the difficult month, but after that, when you change the habits, it'll work fine after that. And that might smash.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then in terms of so this is all that we were discussing, the treasurer role, right? So all those different. So before club meetings, the financial report, collect payable membership dues, present the club financial report when necessary. So this we are doing only at the AGM actually. When it says when necessary, it's like once a year we are doing it, but that's fine, I think. But at least the record has to be kept as frequent as possible, as you know. But otherwise, I think final a presentation is probably once in AGM that we do. There's some other things here which probably is not related to us. Yeah, that's the treasurer, and then sergeant at arms, track of the club's property, banner, lectern, timing device. Hemant is not here, but he said he'll have a look at the recording later. It's also charge of the on-site and online meeting places, obtaining new space when necessary, maintaining contact with people who allow the club to use the space for meetings. Okay. If a club is voting on admitting a new member, sergeant at arms assists either by escorting the potential new members. Okay, so this is all the important aspect of, and it's quite an important role. It's called faultier officer in Irish terms, which is an interesting term that Ireland has given to this role. A welcome officer, right? It's quite amazing because a sergeant at arms seems like some military person trying to be there at the beginning, a bit scary or something. But Ireland has put in a good twist here. Toastmasters, a welcome officer. I think that's what it is all about, really, helping people to when they come in as sergeant at arms is the first person they're seeing, and they are really setting the tone for the whole session really, because that's a first impression. So it's got an important role that way actually for the club. The first impression for the whole Toastmasters club comes from Sergeant at Arms. If they are happy and they are talking, they are welcoming everyone, then their first impression will be great, and everything hopefully will be great then afterwards. So that is the Sergeant at Arms here. Coordinate club meetings, management of the meeting, physical location, okay, accommodating individuals with disabilities on all those aspects. A common meeting changes, working along with president in terms of the meeting changes and all, if the venue is changing and those things. Yeah. Guest book, asking the guest to sign the guest book. Name tag to wear during the meeting. This is interesting, actually. Yeah, that's something that it might be interesting, I think, if we can do that, but maybe we'll see some kind of sticky thing that people write their name, and so that, if someone new comes, we can just directly address by their name, because everyone might not know their name. So that's something that we can think about, I think, if you want to do that. Sorry?
I said it's a good idea, I think.
Yeah.
Just to mention that we did discuss name tags before, and this was just my preference as a president, and when I run in clubs, I prefer people not to have name tags because I want people to remember people's names. One of the most important things in leadership is when you meet someone that you remember their name and be able to recall it again when you meet them again. And it's trying to build up that skill of remember names of faces, and it's a key leadership skill. And that's why I didn't do name tags. Our area director wanted me to do name tags, and I explained it to him, but he didn't understand why I was doing it. It's just 20 people, and you just need to know the 20 people that are coming into the room by their first name. And that's a challenge, but it's an important thing to learn, I think.
Yeah.
That's just my view, okay? So that's just my view.
Yeah, I think here, as I understand here, the main thing that they're trying to mention here is about for guests, who may be new to the club. And everyone...
Same for guests. You have to remember their name. You have to remember their name. If you're not remember their name, they won't connect with you. That's the key thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, for example, the Sergeant at Arms.
Passed. Like John Brody come back after a year, we remembered his name. It's important.
Yeah. Like, for example, if a new guest comes in, Sergeant at Arms would probably know the name, but others probably might not know. So they might need to ask, what's your name, kind of thing. So yeah, it might help that way. But you're right, Donald. I think it's really important to remember names there for everyone. It's a good leadership skill. Yeah.
I think though as well for someone that's for new people that are joining, for like I did read in the communication there that they're publicly welcomed to the meeting as well. So that means that their name is out there for everybody as well.
Yes.
That they're welcome to the meeting.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's really important. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good way to recognize them, the guests there, and encourage them. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I agree completely. But sometimes when you have members and you also have like you're kind of exploring an opportunity or a way where members can know names better, I suppose, because I am a visual learner, so like. If I write your name, if I see the writing of your name, I'm more likely to remember your name all through. Rather than if you tell me and then I meet the next person and maybe I'm nervous. Maybe I'm giving a speech or I'm interacting with other people. I'm conscious of my surrounding. Yes, I wonder if the choice of having a tag maybe for like we have the first Tuesday of the month, and then in the next Tuesday, then you don't have that tag, then people can try to remember the people's name. I don't know, or as somebody like me, I probably will need to see like the written names of people, and in order to associate them with their names. I don't know whether that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it's something that we can try and introduce and see if it works or not. There's no harm in trying things out and see how it is. If it is not working, then maybe we don't do that. So yeah. You're going to say something, Donald, is it?
No. I just got to say, like, the thing is, it's your choice how you do the role in many ways, and you do it the way that you works for you. So in terms of the listing of names, because we had no secretary sergeant at arms, I wrote all the names, every member in a book before we arrived, and the price. And then I handed it to the Falch officer to start the year, and then later when Louise took over, all the names were listed down, and I knew everybody's name on the thing. So in that regard, that's how in some ways that helped with my memory. So now if you were to write all the names down before people come and picture their faces, that would help too. But it's up to yourself, whatever works for you, whatever is your most effective way of doing the role, and to think about the problems you're facing and then try to solve them. So every club runs differently. So I'll be running a different club next year as president, and that would be differently run than Athlone club. There'll be things done the same way, but we still have the same output. So it's a matter of you finding the way that works best for you and make it simpler for you. And that's what I can see some West saying. Open it up, but you got to think yourself. You got to think of the problem, think in your head, and say, how do you manage this to get the output you need? And that's the leadership training. How do you get to that point that makes a success? And you have to think of that in the back of your head. What do you have to do? And it's that thought process that we're trying to get into people's head. And when you can think of that in your head and you take those actions then to make that happen, then that's leadership. All right?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's...
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Can I just add something? It's not for what you're talking about. It's actually for the Sergeant of Arms. It's for the sign-in book. We actually can we write that? Can we do it slightly different this year? For the reason being, there's not enough room for guests. Like in the sense of like just that it's all on the same page. Even if we just do it, say guests on the right hand side of the page and regular members on the left hand side. Only for the reason being, I don't want someone to be missing out, and it'd be easier to see then visually as to how many guests there are, to see how many people I have to become friends with,
Louise,
to encourage them across the line.
Louise, I want to congratulate Louise on pointing that out, because the reason that we ran out of space is that we have so many members that the whole page was filled up. And we are actually, Louise, if you look at the last one, we're writing in 2 pages now. The last 2 meetings, we are writing in 2 pages, and we moved on. We have an average 2 to 3 guests still coming, and we did expand it because of that. But at the start of the year, we didn't, so it just evolves. So that's another thing to recognize, that throughout the year, as you're doing your roles, it will evolve and grow, and new challenges will come in front of you, and you will react as they come to you. All right? So, and change.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, back to Smash, yeah.
No, it's a great suggestion, and yes, I think it's important to get that difference between at a quick look. Otherwise, everything is muddled together, and it's difficult to find out who are the guests here, so that we can try and follow up with them as well. So yeah, and I think again this overlap thing is happening here, Louise. If you look at it, right? So Sergeant at Arms is maintaining this record, but then it is helping the VP membership as well, because VP membership has to understand who is a guest and try and see if they want to become members, kind of thing. But there is overlap between all the roles here, really. Every role interacts with another role. So it's kind of very interesting that way. Yeah. Sorry, Donald, you were going to say something, is that?
No, it's all good, Smith. This is brilliant to have this conversation with everyone and to get out what they're, what they need to think about. So you have like 8 weeks now July, August, September, just to think about where you're going. And in leadership, thinking is probably the most important thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
You got a problem. People are coming at you. 20 people are going to come at you 5 minutes before the meeting starts. So there's no point in writing down the names as they come to you. Have them written down. Then there's 2 methods of payment online Revolut. So you have 2 lines for Revolut online. You're thinking about the movement and getting them in and out the door fast. And you're also trying to make it as simple as possible, but also you want to interact with them. So, for example, Louise always smiled at everyone, stood up, hugged people, entertained them, was warm with them. That is so important. That first impression at the door is important. The second thing was, I was always there to welcome people at every meeting for as much as possible, except for the new place, it's a bit more difficult. But we're going to revise that shortly. And that means there's 2 people engaged with them. The VPM can do that too and get to know everyone as they walk in the door. And then the VPM can sit beside the guests and the people and get to know them all. And it's all about people getting to know people. And the more the committee gets to know more people, the more people will retain and join. And that's it. That's the key to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Agree, Donald, 100%. Yeah. I think it's those personal kind of talks that we have. I think that creates a valuable impression in terms of people getting some kind of bond there between people, and then that's how people join as well, I would say. Yeah.
Forms connection.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's an hour now, and we have gone through all the roles. There's another interesting thing, which is moments of truth. So basically, and that comes to the thing that we discussed, the first impression, that's already there in that moment of truth. We discussed about first impression that SAA gives when they meet so basically all these different aspects here: first impression, membership orientation, the variety and communication, program planning, membership strength, achievement recognition. So all these things are something that we should think about as a club officer committee, in terms of what we can do to make all the meetings better. For example, the first impression, membership orientation, membership strength is mainly VP membership, in terms of variety communication, program planning, meeting organization, this is mainly VP education. And the whole, in terms of publicity, it's VP PR, and, the secretary is helping with the overall summary of the meetings, which helps people to get engaged. Treasurer, of course, the money is important, and then the sergeant at arms, so all the roles are coming together as well. And this moment of truth is something that we can actually do a survey of as well, if we want to, with the club members and all, what they think about what we are doing as a club. Are things going well or not? So yeah,
just on the moments of truth, there's a lot of things in that too that you will vary from it because it doesn't work. It's not applicable to Ireland. That would be the thing I would say about that there's always variances and nuances to be aware of. And which in my role this year is just to consult you basically along the way when necessary. Isn't that right? That's just the state, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I think we have discussed anything to discuss, like in terms of we were talking about once a month, 30 minutes. So when should we meet next is the question now. So actually we will be taking break in July and August. Generally, that's what we do. So then before we start in September, maybe we should have a sync, I would say, if that's fine. Just so that we try and understand how we should do the next one, the first meeting of the next year, then in September.
And then if our monthly ones, we could sort of do it like the group meeting is every fortnight. So we could do our monthly one the week between two meetings.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay. So I can't let you go. And thanks very much, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you,
thanks a lot, Dan.
everyone.
Donald, thank you. Okay.
I wasn't sure whether the meeting was going to end.
No, yeah. So I was just I was just thinking, when should we meet next? So
our first.
Yeah. So first, basically, the June, we are going to end on 24th of June. So that will be the 4th Tuesday. Then we'll have 2 months break, and then we come back on 9th of September, I think. That's the 2nd Tuesday.
Well, if we meet on the 1st Tuesday, then.
Yeah, probably, isn't it? Yeah. 2nd September, maybe, yeah. Are we fine with that? Yeah. We meet on 2nd September, and we try and understand how we can plan so that everyone gets a good, at the end of the day, as club committee, we are trying to provide a good environment for everyone, all the members, so that they feel encouraged to keep doing the roles and keep doing the speeches and interact with each other. Yeah.
And if we have any questions before that meeting, we do have the WhatsApp committee thing anyway as well, so we can just ask in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, it's more than 1 hour. But
no.
I hope you found it useful.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Samesh. Lovely to see everyone. See you soon. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye.